He deliberately took apart the bullet heads and gathered all the gunpowder together. After adjusting the weight of each bullet, it became a simple pressure-triggered landmine. Then he dug a trench in the yard. After lining it with waterproof tape, he filled it with 98-octane gasoline, and the device used to trigger the trap was placed on the only path through. Finally, he laid turf over it to cover up all traces. Because there were too many traps set up, he had to mark them clearly on a blueprint. Otherwise, even he might accidentally trigger them. Then he hammered nails all over a wooden board and hung it above the tunnel entrance. Then he sharpened rebar and made steel spikes laid under the attic. Even the double-barrel shotgun was sawed short and set at the place enemies were most likely to pass. Finally, he carved several spikes with a dagger and assembled them into an automatic trigger mechanism. But these traps could only wait for prey. For a direct fight, he still had to rely on weapons. The compound bow that had been idle for decades was now pulled back to full draw again. But the most terrifying thing was, he got himself claymore mines again and a 10-kilogram block of C4 explosive to cut off the enemy's escape routes. It was clear Longo never planned to leave alive. From cold weapons to firearms, he almost brought out everything he had just to make sure these scumbags never returned. And the one who drove this 70-year-old man into a corner was none other than the adopted daughter he raised himself. He never married or had children in his life, and only adopted a daughter after retirement. But on the day of the girl's 18th birthday, she suddenly said she had found her biological father, even knowing the man was a piece of trash. Out of love for his daughter, Longo still agreed to her request.
You can't just protect me forever.
As long as I'm around, he's never gonna hurt you again. No one is.
This was his promise as a father, and the greatest reassurance he could give her. But what the girl did not expect was, the biological father she finally found turned out to be worse than trash.
I did not expect this. It's been a very long time. Just now, you looked just like your mother.
Really?
Yes, very much. You could almost be her twin.
Thank you. I need to ask you a question.
Of course.
I'm just trying to understand why you would just go like that.
Okay. Because one day, I looked at your mother and you and realized you both didn't mean anything to me anymore. I know it's hard to understand, but I wasted time being with you and her, and she fucking dies and leaves me with you, who I never wanted.
His words were like sharp blades, instantly piercing all her illusions, until he coldly shut the door. She still couldn't recover from the grief. When she ran out crying, her best friend who came with her was already impatient. She wanted to drive back immediately, but her friend said the night road was unsafe, and insisted on taking her to a bar to relax. The girl also wanted to vent, so she followed her friend to the bar, but the moment she stepped onto the dance floor, she was approached by a mustached man. The girl was innocent, and had no idea about the dirty tricks of nightlife. After sizing her up from head to toe, the man locked onto his prey for the night, as drugs mixed with alcohol. Her nightmare began. When she regained consciousness, she had already fallen into the hands of traffickers. The place was full of kidnapped girls, with no chance of escape. Anyone with even a bit of beauty would be forcibly injected with hallucinogens, and made to serve clients repeatedly, reduced to money-making tools for the crime syndicate. By the time Longo received news of his daughter's disappearance, it was already the next afternoon.
She went to Mexico.
What?
She said, Carl, Gabriela went to see her father and never came back.
Forget the address?
And her father's too.
Longo instantly exploded with rage upon hearing this. He drove his pickup straight across the Mexican border. Based on the note, he quickly found the girl's biological father. But this guy did not care about his daughter's life or death. After a few words, he tried to shut the door.
Where is she?
I don't know anything.
All this shit is because of you. You should have broke your fucking neck 10 years ago.
Longo did not continue arguing. Instead, he turned to find the girl's best friend and asked about what really happened that night. But she only said they did go to the bar together, and she got so drunk she blacked out. As for where the girl went, she couldn't remember anything. While she tried to clear herself, Longo had already noticed the bracelet on her wrist.
He's giving you a heads up.
You called my house and said she never came back from her father's.
Man, fuck!
Where'd you get this?
Give it to me, man.
It was her mother's. She'd never give it to you. You sold her out. She was your friend.
Fuck you, get out of place!
Look at me. You're gonna take me to that club. You're gonna show me who she was with. I'm gonna hurt you real bad.
Facing such an intimidating old man, the friend had no courage to resist. She had no choice but to lead him to the bar, then hid at a corner, pointing at the mustached man in the booth, the one who approached the girl that night. After confirming the target, Long Gu immediately told her to get out of his sight, then calmly walked aside, waiting for the best moment to strike. His tough aura also caught the attention of a beautiful woman. Seeing him staring at the mustached man, she knew he was not someone to mess with. Sure enough, when the man left the bar, Long Gu followed right behind. Taking advantage of the moment, he quickly subdued him. The girl nearby ran away in fear. Long Gu took out a photo and demanded answers, but the man still refused to talk, which made Long Gu stab him immediately. Then he broke his collarbone with brute force. Facing such brutality, who could endure it? Obviously the mustached man was no exception. He could only cooperate and get into the car, and the bloody scene just now was witnessed by the woman hiding nearby. Upon arriving at the gang hideout, the mustached man was forced to sleep early, but Long Gu's unfamiliar face alerted the hidden guards. By the time he entered the base, they were fully prepared, surrounded by over 100 armed men. Even someone like him could only let them strip him clean. But when the boss looked at the photo, the curly-haired man immediately recognized it, saying it was new stock from 2 days ago. Hearing this, Long Gu moved instantly, but dozens of guns were pointed at his head. The curly-haired man showed no mercy, ordering everyone to beat him. Even though Long Gu fought back desperately, he could not withstand so many attackers. Even beaten to the brink of death, he still begged them to let the girl go. But after learning their relationship, the boss deliberately spared his life, and to humiliate him, carved a mark on his face. The captured girl was not spared either. The same mark was carved onto her face, but no one expected. The woman from earlier suddenly appeared. She followed them here and rescued the badly injured Long Gu. The long-haired man intended to leave her to die, but did not realize he had provoked the wrong person. After careful treatment, Long Gu woke up after 4 days.
Are you okay?
Who are you?
It turned out the woman was a journalist, and she did not save him for anything else, but because she was investigating the syndicate, and happened to witness everything. Her sister had also been taken by these people, and chose suicide after suffering abuse. After repeated pleading, she told him the information she found. Based on the address she provided, Long Gu found one of their locations, then disguised himself as a client and got in. Before anyone could react, he grabbed a hammer and started killing. No fancy moves, just clean and direct strikes. After smashing 3 heads, he went straight upstairs. As long as they were men, clients or guards, none escaped the judgment of his hammer. Finally, in one room, he found his daughter tortured beyond recognition, but due to long-term abuse, when she heard a man approaching, she instinctively covered herself and hid. Until she heard her father's voice, she slowly calmed down, but her hollow eyes, the centipede-like scar on her face, and the needle marks all over her arms, told everything she had been through. As a father, Long Gu was heartbroken. He did not dare waste a second. He carried her into the car, and floored the gas, escaping that hell. Only after seeing her father's determined face, did she believe the nightmare was over.
You came back.
I'm gonna get you back. Get you back home.
He put her mother's bracelet back on her, listening to her father whisper. The girl felt deep regret, but it was too late. She would pay for her recklessness. Watching his daughter die in front of him, endless rage surged in Long Gu's heart. Losing the only thing he cared about meant he had nothing left to hold back. What awaited those men was the wrath of hell. After burying his daughter, he sent his mother away, then began his revenge plan. He set up traps all over his house. This was both his battlefield and the grave he prepared for them. Once everything was ready, he returned to the enemy base, declaring war alone. After easily killing key members, he did not rush to find the long-haired man. Instead, he deliberately left his information. When the man returned home the next day, he saw his brother dead on the bed, with an address left on the back of the photo. No boss could tolerate such provocation, so to regain face, he gathered all his elite men, 39 fully armed, 6 vehicles heading out, but none of them expected the 70-year-old they were facing was a battle-hardened Special Forces veteran. No surprise, as soon as they entered the farm, they triggered the explosives. The farm was surrounded by fire, leaving only one path in the middle, the route Long Gu designed for them. Though surprised, they still spread out to surround the house. 2 fearless men went in first, but the moment they opened the door, one was shot dead by a compound bow, and the other was killed instantly by Long Gu hiding in the tunnel. He never lingered after a strike, using the terrain to hunt. Before they could locate him, they had already lost a third of their force. The long-haired man was furious, leading his men into the tunnel, but what they did not expect was that the real hunt was just beginning. With the tunnel maze, they could only search one by one. No matter how careful, none escaped his judgment. After a brutal shotgun blast, he grabbed a steel pipe and continued harvesting lives. Then he played his music, using speakers to split them apart, while he waited in ambush. Seeing more and more bodies, the long-haired man finally realized the terror, but it was too late, as Longo pulled the trigger line. 3 more were blown apart. The explosion drew 2 men, who stepped into traps and fell. Even after they were dead, he still finished them with shots. Though he was shot once in the chaos, only the long-haired man remained, but this was all part of his plan. He even shouted to guide him, afraid he would get lost. The man was completely enraged, spraying bullets wildly, chasing him relentlessly. During the chase, Longo was shot again, but he kept him alive, to make him feel true fear.
They're all dead. All of them. I could have killed you 10 times, but I wanted you left. Fuck you. Fuck you, dead man. I want you to feel my rage. My hate. When I reach into your chest and rip out your heart!
Then he pulled the power switch. As the lights came on, the bombs detonated. At the final moment of collapse, the man managed to escape, but as a man of his word, since he said he would rip out his heart, he would not break it. Longo fired 4 arrows, each powerful enough to pierce bone, pinning him to the wall. Longo walked slowly, under the man's terrified gaze, and took out a sharp military dagger. He always kept his word, to fulfill his promise, and to avenge his daughter.
This is what it feels like.
He raised the dagger, and stabbed it into his chest, pulling down his ribs. He reached into the chest cavity, and ripped out the still beating heart, from the first blood at 36, to the last blood at 73. Under the sunset, he looked back on his life. Maybe heroes grow old, but legends never fade.